What's the worst way you've been lied to? My girlfriend Sarah had been acting weird for weeks, coming home late from work meetings, texting constantly, but hiding her phone, and suddenly caring about her appearance way more than usual. When I asked about her day, she'd give these vague answers like, just busy at the office, but something felt off. Sarah worked at a small accounting firm with like 6 employees. How many late meetings could they possibly have? The red flags started piling up. She'd shower immediately after coming home, claiming she felt gross from the office. Her phone was always face down during dinner, and she'd jump if it buzzed. When I tried to plan our usual weekend movie nights, she suddenly had these girls' nights with friends I'd never heard her mention before. I tried to ignore my gut instinct, but then came the night she forgot to take her phone when she went to shower. It kept buzzing on the nightstand, 7 texts in 5 minutes. I glanced over and saw a name that made my blood run cold. Brandon. I'd never heard of any Brandon. Not once in 2 years together. The preview showed, "Can't wait to see you tomorrow, baby," and "Your boyfriend has no idea how lucky he is." My hands were shaking as I put the phone back where she left it. When she came out of the bathroom, I acted completely normal, but my mind was racing. I couldn't sleep that night, staring at the ceiling while she slept peacefully next to me like nothing was wrong. The next morning, she was extra sweet, making me coffee, kissing me goodbye, telling me she loved me. "I'll be late again tonight," she said casually. Big project deadline. But I'd seen her calendar the week before. No deadline, no big projects. I called in sick to work and decided to follow her. At lunch, instead of eating at her office, she drove across town to an upscale restaurant I'd never been to. I parked 3 cars back and watched her walk inside, checking her reflection in the window like she was preparing for something special. 20 minutes later, a tall guy in a business suit walked in. I waited in my car for 2 hours, watching through the restaurant windows as they talked and laughed. She was animated in a way I hadn't seen in months, touching his arm, throwing her head back, laughing at his jokes. When they finally came out, she looked around nervously before he kissed her. Then he walked her to her car, said something that made her giggle, and slapped her back as she got in. I followed him to a nearby hotel. My stomach dropped as I watched Sarah's car pull into the same parking lot 15 minutes later. They were in there for 3 hours. When Sarah finally emerged, her hair was messy and her clothes were wrinkled. She sat in her car for 10 minutes, probably composing herself and thinking up lies about her afternoon. That night, she came home with Chinese takeout and a big smile. "Sorry I'm so late. The deadline was brutal, but we finally finished it." She even had the nerve to complain about how exhausting her day was, but I wanted to catch them red-handed. No wiggle room for excuses or gaslighting. The following Tuesday, I told her I was going to visit my brother for the night, a 3-hour drive. She seemed almost relieved, immediately texting someone as soon as I left the driveway. Instead of driving to my brother's, I parked around the corner and waited. Brandon's Mercedes pulled up to my house at 8 p.m. I waited until 10 p.m., then quietly let myself in through the back door with my spare key. The sound coming from our bedroom made me physically sick. I turned on my phone camera and walked upstairs. Our bedroom door was open. Sarah was on top of him in our bed. They were so lost in the moment they didn't notice me standing in the doorway for a full 30 seconds. "Having fun?" I said loudly. Sarah screamed and fell off the bed, scrambling to cover herself with our sheets. Brandon just laid there, staring at me like a deer in headlights. "This isn't what it looks like," she started, but I held up my phone. "Really? Because I've got about 2 weeks of evidence that says otherwise, including today's little performance." She tried every excuse in the book. It was just physical. It didn't mean anything. She was planning to end it. He started putting on his clothes without saying a word. Sarah was crying, begging, promising it would never happen again, saying she'd do anything to fix this. I waited until Brandon left, then calmly told her she had until morning to pack her stuff and find somewhere else to live. She was gone when I woke up.